Hello everyone. Thanks for joining. Sorry I'm a little bit late. I was just dialing in and I just wanted to put some photos together to explain what I'm doing today because it's a little bit strange maybe and quite Australian centric. And yeah, I just wanted to yeah, get that done before I jumped on. And yeah, sorry about the confusion with the time. I'm not sure what's going on there. I think maybe I'm still struggling with time zones, so I will check that before the next stream. Sorry for all the confusion about 5 p.m. versus 6 p.m. I hope we have a couple of people here. Yeah, oh, thanks so much for joining. It's lovely to see you. Hey Ed, hey Techniac, hey Ira, hey Willow Loves Bears, and Jay Dorsha? I hope I got that right. And hey Tiffany, if you're still around, but I'm sorry about the teaching. Yeah, I'm sorry I got the time a little bit wrong. It's starting to come into winter here, so I think I was doing them earlier, but now I'm very sleepy. I'm also been working till like 9 p.m. So yeah, I made it just a little bit later. So yes, sorry for anyone who missed out. I will, yeah, keep endeavoring to do my best despite Australia time zones and all that jazz. Hey Nadav, hello. Hi Daniel, lovely to see you. Yeah, so today making possum boxes. What's a possum box? Why am I making one? I thought I would present with a little PowerPoint slide. Oh, that's not the right slide. Here we go. Yes. So we're making possum boxes. They are boxes for possums. And possums in Australia are a little different to possums in America. This is what our possums look like. So they are ridiculously cute. This is a common brush-tail possum, and this is the kind of possum I am making this possum box for. Yes, so this is a project I'm going to cut at my workplace. I work for a makerspace here it's run by the state library, which is very, very cool. And just if I don't say so myself. And yeah, so I will be cutting this on the CNC machine there because I'm completing my CNC induction, which is very exciting because it means I can use the CNC. And the CNC, I got a few questions about what kind of CNC it is, and it's actually a CNC that's been manufactured here in Australia. So it's called a multicam, and it's big. It's a big one. Not giant, but still pretty big. It cuts sheets that are 1200 by 2400. So that's a full sheet here in Australia. I'm not sure whether America uses imperial for their sheets. Let me know if that's the case. Yeah. Oh, Willie Loves Bears. If this doesn't start soon, you will feel the wrath of 1,000 possums. I hope I've started. I hope this is starting. If yeah, I hope. I hope I'm live. It says I am. So anyway, I thought Aussies ate possums, not make homes for them. No, we don't really eat possums too much. We eat a lot of, well, some of our native flora and fauna, but not really possums. They're sort of cat-sized. I don't know that you get much meat on them, and they're so cute. How could you eat that face? Look at it. It's adorable. Possum nesting box in the shape of a possum. We will get to that in a minute, says to Joel Driver. Yes. Hello from Ontario, says Mike. Hello, Mike. Hello from Brisbane in Australia. Etsy, looks like a sugar glider on steroids. I want one. Yeah. And if you want to see an actual sugar glider on steroids, check out the Greater Gliders. They are so gorgeous and they're nearby to me. And so this project actually is leading into a project for Greater Gliders. One of my best friends in the whole world, Jess, she really wants to make so we have this thing called a Greater Glider, which just looks like a fantasy creature. I wonder if I could pull up a picture, but anyway, check them out on Google. Greater Glider, as in larger glider. They're like these fluffy white gorgeousnesses that look like something out of Dark Crystal, and we know very little about them because they're very, very rare. And my friend Jess wants to make possum boxes for the gliders so that we can start to study their nesting habits and their eating habits and all that sort of stuff. And she wants to put a little camera in them and, like, you know, a little Raspberry Pi or something, make it an Internet of Things kind of deal. And yeah, but we don't know whether possums can like see infrared light, for example. So would an infrared light bother them, or, you know, all this sort of stuff. And greater gliders are a kind of possum. So this project might eventually lead into that project. But for now, I'm just making a box. And the reason I'm making a box is because we have a baby possum around in our garden. Oh, Technic is saying, yeah, sheet here is 4 foot by 8 foot feet. That is, yeah, okay. So I'm not sure. That's about the same size. 4 foot is about 120. Okay, so our sheets are around the same size. So it takes a full sheet of material, and our one cuts wood, foam, that sort of stuff. It doesn't do metal on the one at work, but that's fine. You can do a lot with a bit of wood. I'll be making this out of form ply because we have some scraps of form ply, so I'll be making out of form ply, but marine ply is what's advised. But anyway, this is the possum that I was making this box for, and this little possum is a baby. It's small. It's about this big. And kind of a little derp. This is it sitting on our veranda. We accidentally woke it up in the morning when we opened our sliding door. This is the rungs of our sliding door. And it hissed at us because we woke it up. And they shouldn't live on verandas. Maybe that's obvious, but that's not where they belong. And so he's having a hard time finding a proper house. Here is him eating a strawberry, which you actually shouldn't feed to them. I learnt after the fact you shouldn't feed them strawberries, but we gave him one single strawberry, and it's so cute, so cute. Look at that face. Oh my god, so cute. I just can't even. That's so cute. Anyway, so this is a baby possum. We also have its mum possum that lives near us, and this is her and the baby interacting. So she is well fed enough that she was able to have 2 babies this season, and this is, yeah, a sign of her doing quite well. There's lots of trees around here, like native fruit trees. So she was able to raise a whole baby. And normally once a baby is raised, they'll wean them. And it kind of looks a bit brutal, but they basically hiss at them, the mum hisses at the baby until the baby leaves her alone. And so that's what's going on in this picture. Except this is long after the baby's already been weaned. So this is a few weeks after we found him sleeping on the balcony, on the veranda. But it's in the rain, and I think baby doesn't know where to go when it rains. This seems to be mum's hangout when it rains. This is an awning of our roof, and baby doesn't know where to go. Baby has no home, so I figured we should build baby a home so baby has a place for when it rains. So that's what I'm doing. Oh, Ed C says, okay, I feel in love because I have a new T50 champion. I'm in on the nesting boxes. Oh, cool. Awesome. Let's do it. Nesting boxes. Thrasher says, hi. Hi, Thrasher. Lovely to see you. Ura says, possums are friends, not food. I agree. Friends, not food. Joel is saying, how cold does it get here in winter? Not radically cold. It'll get down to like 8 degrees Celsius, which is nowhere near freezing. It doesn't get too much colder than that. It's, yeah, pretty warm, pretty mild here all year round. I'm in the subtropics. So yeah, we don't have to worry too much about insulation or anything crazy like that. It's just a shelter from the rain for the poor little baby possum, poor little bub. Yeah, so this is a design that I found from the Department of Environmental and Conservation in New South Wales. So I'm in Queensland. We're in a state just above New South Wales, but these kinds of possums live all around Australia. So this is some guidelines that they've put together, you know, presumably backed by research because it's the government, as to the kinds of sizes that we should make our possum box. And this one is specific to the kind of possum that I will be making this for, i.e. a brush-tail possum. They're called a brush-tail possum because their tail is real fluffy like a brush. There's other ones too, like a ringtail possum is really common around here, and they're kind of red colored, like sort of like a fox, and they have a smaller, kind of pointier face, and they have a tail that's white on the end and actually curls into this cute little ring, and they use it to grab onto branches and stuff, which is really cute. And they actually would need a smaller box with a smaller hole, but our possum is brushtail, so we need a slightly larger hole. I also did a little bit further research. I think I didn't put a picture in this slide deck, but you also need on your possum box a baffle on the front, and that's to kind of obfuscate the hole. And it's not really to stop anything climbing into it, so the possum will still be able to get in fine. It's to stop birds from using it as a nesting box, because the birds around here, mainly the minor birds and starlings, want to be able to fly straight into their tree hollow or nesting box. They want to fly straight into it, in through the hole. They don't like stopping on the way. So having a little baffle in front of it will prevent birds from using it as a nesting box, and hopefully preserve it for our little baby possum friend. We'll have to name the possum. I haven't given it a name. You'll all have to help me name it. I came for American possums, but we'll settle for the American kind, I guess. Or the Australian kind, I guess. Yeah, so I'm not American. Sorry, don't have any American possums here. I kind of feel like our possums are a bit cuter. Some people say that Australian possums and American possums have been switched because a lot of people think all Australian animals are terrifying. But we actually have so many mammals here, and all of them are adorable. My favorite is an Antechinus. They have yearly death orgies. Look them up. They're insane. Antechinus. But yeah, anyway. Mammals, they're great. We have lots of them. Lazy birds, yeah. I don't know. I think maybe they just, I don't know, something about them. They just like doing that. So we're gonna make it so that they can't get in, or that they don't like the box. So because I can't do anything the right way, I just have to do things a bit extra. And because we're using digital fabrication, I thought, why make a boring looking box? As long as I have the right dimensions, it should be fine. Let's make a box that looks like a traditional Queenslander. What's a Queenslander? Queensland is the state that I live in, and Queenslanders are the style of house that was really, really common right through from the Victorian era to the 1940s, being made here in Queensland. They are mostly made out of timber and hardwood. Almost all of it is hardwood because that's what grows here in Australia, lots of gums and stuff. And they have these very typical traits. One is that 30-degree pitched roof. So these roofs here, that 30-degree pitch, they have these awnings that come out with this interesting sort of filigree work a lot of the time, fretwork. They have fretwork on posts, and they often have big, deep verandas because it's warm here a lot of the year. We are in the subtropics, so we spend a lot of time on our verandas. And they have, often they're one story that you actually live on, and then underneath is all airy, and it lets the breeze flow through, presumably, hopefully to keep it a bit cooler. A lot of these have been upgraded since with good aircon and stuff. But yeah, in the old days before aircon, it was to keep the house cool. You can open up all the windows all around the house, and the air will just blow on through and hopefully keep the house a bit cooler. And the roofs are pitched like that to keep all the heat running up, and it runs out the top on a little whirly bird, we call them. It's like a little thing that spins on top, but it lets the heat out. So usually one story they lived on, and usually underneath with this sort of slat kind of deal. Here's another one. And the fretwork is really common. Also these little awnings over the windows. Really common in Queenslanders. So these are some of the traits that I kind of want to hint at in this possum box without making the possum box non-functional. So I got to kind of find the right balance. So that's kind of what I thought I'd do. I'd make a little cute one inspired by Queenslander. I grew up in a house like this. I'm living in a house like this now. They're really, really common, and people can continue to upgrade them and add on to them. A lot of people build in the underneath floor so that they have extra room now that we don't need the breeze as much. So that's what I thought I'd do. I thought it would be cute. So it's kind of like a doll's house possum box mashup. And I think because we're using digital fabrication technologies, it's not that much more effort to make something really, really cute. And I think that's one of the things I really love about digital fabrication is that, you can have an idea, and you don't necessarily need all the hand skills and loads of time to make it happen. So I'm thinking what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut the foundation of the shape in CNC, and then maybe some of these windows and stuff will be laser cut, or even laser etched, like these slat what do we call them, like the horizontal boards along here and all that sort of stuff. I might actually laser cut, and I'm gonna try and maybe do gradients of laser cut so that like it kind of makes texture, like so that I'm gonna try and make a bitmap, I guess, of like the gradient depth. So kind of like a height map that I can use in the laser cutter to make these kinds of shapes on the sides of the walls and stuff. And this is actually quite good. I think adding all these little bits on, it's actually going to be advantageous for the possum as well, because it gives it somewhere to grip onto as it's climbing around and getting into the box. So having a little deck for it to stand on, having little windows and stuff for it to climb onto will actually be advantageous for the possum as well. And that baffle that I was talking about at the front will be able to be one of these gorgeous little fretwork pieces. So it'll be nice and pretty. Yeah, so that's my plan. That's my plan. Cool. Oh, Australian possums are so much cuter than American ones. Totally agree, Yosh. Though I think American ones are kind of endearing. They have their own little charm, you know, like they're kind of really cute in their own weird way. Wait, when did we get an official YouTube account? I don't have an official YouTube account. I don't think. I still don't have enough hours. I don't know. I bet it's shade. What's shade? I don't know. Siding. That's it, Ed. Thank you. Siding is the word. I know the internal word. So this is actually on a deck, but these walls are all through the inside, and we call this vertical join, single skin vertical join walls. Single skin because the support structure you can actually see is here. So often the walls in our houses are just one layer of wood, but because it's hardwood, the sound doesn't transfer all that much, to be honest. And we often have really high ceilings, which is advantageous for our possum box, which needs to be quite tall. So often our rooms are, even this one is like 1.5 heights of a normal story in modern buildings. So yeah, let's do it. Let's do it. Let's jump on into Fusion. I've been rambling enough. Let's do some Fusion. Fusion. So this is what I've already done. And so these dimensions are like we had on the possum box diagram from the New South Wales government. And this is what I've already done. I've started to build that roof in. I've had to make a couple of accommodations because Queenslanders have almost all their roofs finishing off the edge. I'll jump back into that presentation for a tick. So all the roofs normally actually come out on a gradient. They actually finish on a slope. They don't have that half pitched kind of thing like a barn does. But because I still wanted the silhouette of the roofs, I've ended up actually just making it cut off on the side here, because without this, there's hardly any triangles, and it just looked kind of strange. It didn't actually look like a Queenslander at all. Also, something I'm struggling with is that this is higher than a normal Queenslander. Queenslanders are one story. They're just one story. We didn't really do 2 stories. It just wasn't a thing. You might have some rooms that are slightly higher than other rooms because you might have built in something underneath it. The Queenslanders get really weird. They grow with the families that have inhabited them and added on rooms and stuff, because it's kind of cool. I just like these houses. They start with a living room in the middle, and then all the other houses get built on around, all the other rooms get built on around them. So they just evolve as time goes on and as people add to them. So they end up really quirky and strange. They're really fun. Yeah, so anyway, one story almost exclusively. So what I'm going to do here, I think, is I'm going to make it look like it's one story, and then we're going to have underneath a hint at the slat work. It's not actually going to be open, but we're going to hint at this kind of vibe. And I might even paint it those sorts of colors. I might paint it black and then run some paint over the top of the next one so that it looks like there's nothing going on underneath, but it actually will be enclosed for the possum. So it's out of the rain. So we're going to do a bit of visual magic for this. Oh, my apologies. You have a bunch of viewers from Possum 64, a possum focused software development startup community, and we're just slightly nuts. Oh, I didn't realize. Oh, cool. Wow. Well, that's so cool. Hello, it's Possum 64 people. That's amazing. So what sort of software development, how is it possum focused? Is it for looking at what sort of okay, you have to tell me more. Tell me more about Possum 64. I am also feeling slightly nuts about this now. Ed says, I will say the design is absolutely gorgeous. Oh, thank you, Ed. I think you're talking about mine. If you're talking about the other houses, I agree. And either way, we're in agreement. Perfect house with a screaming baby. Yeah, no, the baby isn't screaming. The mum screams at the baby to scare the baby away because they're weaning. She's like, it's time to be on your own, baby. And the sound they make is crazy. It is actual demon noises. Almost everything that's cute and fluffy in Australia makes crazy demon noises. If you've never heard a koala, go and look that up. They sound like a chainsaw and something out of Doom. Like, they're just ridiculous. They are ridiculous. I think they should use them in Doom because they are the craziest, creepiest sound. And if you're a kid and you don't know what that sound is, and you're staying with your aunt who has loads of them around her, and no one's told you what what koalas sound like, and you're lying in bed, and it's a new bed because then it's kind of creepy because, you know, your aunt collects too many dolls, and you're lying in bed and you hear that fucking demon noise. It's insane. Like, you're just like, I'm gonna die. But they're just koalas. But possums also make really crazy noises, and they also run along our roofs. So, oh, that's another thing. Can we see it in these pictures? No, we can't. Oh, yes, we can in this one. So this roof here is not slate or whatever else. It's not tile. It's almost always corrugated iron. So that tin that is like wavy tin. They're aluminium now. I don't know whether they were iron. I think they're aluminium. Maybe they're not. Maybe they're still iron. Anyway, they're corrugated iron. So they're like this wavy iron. And they're normally wavy. The waves are normally about that wide, but you can get mini wavy iron, which is like about this wide. So that's what I'll be hopefully using for the roof. So we're actually going to keep it in keeping. Otherwise, I might try 3D printing it, but I don't want the possum to gnaw it. I don't, you know, like if they gnaw a bit of wood, that's fine. But if they gnaw PLA, I mean, it's probably fine, but I don't really want to do it. So I'm going to get the mini wavy corrugated iron. I'm so excited. Yeah, it sounds so stupid, but I just love tiny things. I love tiny things, and that's how we got here. Anyway, oh my God, I talk too much. Sorry if I talk too much. Okay, so I haven't got over how Australian magpies sound. It's so weird. Oh, they're lovely. Australian magpies, you know, they get a bad reputation because they swoop us during breeding season. But if you make friends with them outside breeding season, they don't swoop you. And they have the most beautiful bird song. I love them. I love them. Hello on behalf of the Possum 64 team. Hello, Possum 64 team. What do you do? What sort of software do you make? Because it said it was Possum oriented, and now I'm really curious. Yeah, I don't think possums are going to add on to the house, so no worries, says Ed. I think you're correct, Ed. Hopefully not too much. They might add some leaves or something, and that would be fine. Okay, what are we doing? Okay. So right now, this is just like a big blocky thing, and I've made it over a few series of steps. So I made this is me kind of roughing it out. So you'll see this is a pretty rough and kind of dodge way to do it, because I've sort of been designing it as I've been building it. I started drawing it all out, and then it just got really annoying and finicky, so I just jumped straight into Fusion and started playing with it. So I did a little sketch of the front profile, and this is the pitch of the roof behind it. I did another sketch, which is the sort of side profile I wanted. And again, these are all that 30-degree or 60-degree, I think they call it, but it's actually 30 from the horizontal plane to that one. Yeah, so it's kind of the same pitch as a normal one. And then I did an extrude from the side. I'll just turn that first one off. So I extruded that side profile out. I extruded the front profile into that. And then I extruded this awning out, because a lot of the houses have these little stick out awnings, even when there's no window or anything. So like, check it out. Even when there's no window here, they still have this cute little awning that sticks out. It's just a feature. I'm not sure whether it has function. It probably shades part of the wall just to keep it a bit cooler, and the awnings of the roof stick out further than the walls as well, and I think it is just to keep rain out. We have a lot of rain, but also to keep the heat off the walls, because again, they're often on the outside, they're two skins, but it's still, you can feel it through the walls. It gets really hot. Yeah, okay, so yeah, did a little extrude there. So, and took that little bit away because I didn't want that, and then had a bit more of a play at making this roof like sort of pitched on the side, because I think that will make it look more Queenslander-y. And then I started drawing this little bit on the side to make this roof kind of pitched, and I decided I didn't like that, but I did want to bring out this roof a little more. And what I'm thinking I might do next is actually bring out a little platform around here, kind of like a veranda, and I'll leave it relatively open. I won't actually put in the balustrade that you'd normally have on a veranda, I think. But I will kind of have a little bit of a balustrade at the top, kind of hinting at the vibe of balustrade. I just don't want the possum to get caught in it. That would be terrible. Yeah, so I don't want to make it too complex, but I do want somewhere for them to stand so they can clamber up the front of the box and into the hole. And the hole, I think I'm going to put around here. So I might put what will I do? I might hollow this. What will we do? I might hollow it on the bottom and then put the hole in just so we can get that in place. And then we might start building this little sort of little veranda kind of dealio. Possum picks names of possums, possums wherever not appropriate. Oh my gosh, this sounds amazing. This sounds like the greatest open source community ever. Peter, link me some possum stuff. Tag me on Twitter maybe if you have Twitter. I'm the lead developer of an optimized YouTube client for Linux smartphones. Is that the possum thing? Is this the YouTube client? Oh, slats. says Yosh. I hope Baby Possum gets a nice home. I hope so too. I hope Baby Possum likes a nice home. Time will tell. Maybe the reason the possum boxes are plain is because possums don't like fancy houses, but we shall see. Oh, one thing that I have neglected to fix on this diagram. So yesterday is when I found out how thick my material would be, and it's a lot thicker than the guidelines. So the guidelines had them at 12 millimeters marine ply, and we are using 18 millimeters form ply. So I'm gonna have to like pad out these walls a little bit because otherwise the internal dimensions will change like quite a bit, like by like a good centimeter. So what I'm going to do first is I'm going to use the push and pull tool, or press pull tool, and this is different to the extrude tool. It kind of they're very similar, but they're a bit different. So if I was to use the extrude tool, if I click something and drag it out, you're just dragging that profile out. So most of us know the extrude tool. It's one of the first tools you learn in Fusion. But the press pull tool tries to make all the other geometry around it sort of similar. Oh, it's not going to work here. Let's use it here. I'll show it here. So it tries to kind of make it work with the rest of the geometry. It's not just like, I'll do it here. So that's what press pull does. Press pull. And I'll undo that. And this is what extrude does. It just pulls out a shape the same. So does that make sense? I think it's easier to demonstrate than explain. So we're gonna use the press pull tool to make all these just a wee bit bigger. And I think we just need to make them 6 mil bigger because 18 minus 12 is 6. So 6 mil, and maybe we'll do the bottom as well. We'll do all of them. Can I do all at the same time? We'll find out. Press pull. 6. Yeah, beautiful. And we've still got a little awning, so I think that'll be enough awning. That'll be fine. This will actually probably be hand cut anyway, maybe, because I'll have to do it in that cute little mini corrugated iron. So excited for tiny things. Okay, let's do a shell now. So a shell allows you to cut. So if you have a solid cube, you can turn it into a box with sides. So I'm going to use the bottom of our box for this. And again, I'm going to do 18 millimeters like that. And so now we have an open bottom box. Open bottom box, yes. Ura says it's branded with tons of possums. That's awesome. That is so cool. Are they American possums? I imagine they're American possums. I think American possums are really fun. Ed C says it might scare them. Oh, I wonder what you were referring to. Sorry, a little while ago now. For me, I think it's all a little laggy. Anyway, so they had recommendations on how it should all fit together, and I think it was, yes. So the bottom piece should be an insert that fits into here, and then you screw in screws from the side, and that will make it less likely to fall out. So they were saying if you just tack on a bottom piece straight on the bottom and screw it in, it might fall out. But what they suggest instead is that you build a little piece into here that slots into this bottom piece. So it fits in here, and then you screw in from the sides. So that's what I'm going to do. I think that sounds like a good plan. So we're going to create a sketch on the bottom here, and we're going to make our bottom piece, which is, I don't need to do too much other than use this square that was made when we made this bottom piece. So I'm going to extrude this square. We're going to extrude it negative 18 millimeters because that's the thickness of our plywood. And instead of join, we're going to use new body, because eventually I want to be able to lay out all these pieces on a on a flat plane and then make a sketch of all their contours and then use that tonight, hopefully, to cut them on the CNC machine. So that will be exciting, very exciting. So I might do that for the rest of the walls as well while we're here, because that's the basic bit I definitely need to get done today, and all the cutesy little bits around it can kind of happen on the laser cutter later, which I already know how to use on my own. So yeah, so we got a bottom piece. I might label this. Let's label it. This can be bottom. Oh, I got caps lock on. I never turn caps lock on. I just feel like I don't even need a caps lock key. Anyway, so let's cut the hole in the front. Another sketch here. Cut a little hole. I could use the hole tool to do this, but it kind of helps having a sketch sometimes because you can reference it easier, especially if you're doing a circle. So what I'm going to do is, I know that I made this point on the origin point and I want this circle in the middle of this roof peak. So I'm going to click this origin point and draw a line straight up here. And this is still a solid line, like a normal solid line, but what you can do is turn it into a construction line by clicking this button over here. And construction lines are freaking amazing. They're not real lines. So if I go back to this and I just, for argument's sake, we'll just draw a box here just for now. Oh, I'll put the circle in. Put the circle in here. And this has to be 120 millimeters. That's the measurement they gave for this kind of possum. 120. Okay, so yes, so at the moment this line is a real line, and if you hover over each side, you it kind of cuts, it bisects this circle. But that's generally not what you want. You generally want the circle to be able to be selected all on its own. So if you turn this into a construction line, it becomes not a real line. So now it doesn't interrupt your geometry, which can be really handy. This instance is only mildly annoying. You'd have to select two sides of the circle before you do your extrude, but it can get really complicated if you have quite a complicated design, and having construction lines is really, really handy. So you don't have to just go and shift select a million little pieces. So construction lines, when I learned about those, my whole world opened up. I was like, oh my God, I wish I knew about these sooner. So yes, here we go. Let's do a little extrude. We will take this to the other side of this wall. We'll turn the bottom off so we can see on the inside. So I'm going to change this direction instead of, the extent type rather, to to object. So currently it's a distance, but if I go to object, I can click here and it will automatically, no matter, even if I change the thickness of this wall, always cut the whole way through. So there we go. That is the basis of that possum box. It's all happening. It's all happening. It might scare them. The decoration of the house might be too much. That's why it makes them plain. Yeah, I was thinking that, but then this one seems to be pretty happy on our veranda. And also, like, trees are quite textured. And I'm going to be painting it green. Very typical colors for Queenslanders, especially originally, is this really dusty kind of olivey green color. And I think I'm going to do it various shades of that. So the roof will be the darkest green, and then the little fretwork is the little fancy bits. Fretwork is like these little bits, this little bit, this little bit. That's the fretwork, for anyone who doesn't know the terminology I'm using. Yeah, so I think it'll be okay. I'm hoping it'll be okay because possums live in trees which have texture anyway. So I'm hoping it'll just be like, they're not the smartest creatures on the planet. They're all right, but they're not super bright. Like, yeah, I think it should be fine. I think the texture will be good for it to, a lot of the designs actually have, like, you know, cut some slats in here so the possum can clamber up it and stuff. So I think it'll be fine. I think it'll be fine. Contrary to recent rumors, Possum 64 is not run by 3 opossums in trench coats pretending to be human. Oh, good to know. Okay, so we have a base, we have a bottom, but I need to cut these sides out as well. And I did them a silly way. I made them, words are hard. I did this in sort of a silly way because I made the pieces all one piece rather than doing them individually. And this is because I was roughing it out. I did start modeling it with the individual pieces and I was labeling them as I went. And then it just got too hard because I was changing the design too radically as I went. So what I'm going to do now is instead do an extrude, and we are going to do, I might move my face. Where's my face? Let's move me over to here. Yes. So what I'm going to do is do an extrude, and I'm going to go backwards 18 mil, negative 18. And instead of cut, I'm hoping to do intersect. Yeah, except it's gonna, I wonder if I can keep, if I do this, I'm gonna lose the rest of it, right? So what I'm gonna try and do, maybe we duplicate this first. Can we copy? Create a copy. Oh, I hate this. It won't let you create a copy unless you move it. I think maybe I can just do copy paste. Yeah, copy paste. Okay, so let's do that. So we have a copy now. I'll turn one of them off, and we're gonna do this extrude. We're gonna go in negative. Oh, we're not gonna go negative 18. We're gonna do the extent thing that I just did before. We're gonna do that. We're gonna go 2 objects, and I'm gonna click the back of here so that, you know, if I change the thickness of the material I'm using in future, it'll mean I have to clean up less. I don't think I'm going to do that, but it's good practice. I haven't fully parameterized this in any way because I don't expect to need to, but it's good practice anyway. Less things will break. So there we go. We have a front. This is now, oh, I meant to overlap it. Whoops. That's okay, we can jump back in. So the way I'm coming back to these operations that I've already done is through this thing called a timeline down here, and you can roll it, it's kind of like a movie. You can roll it backwards and forwards and step through your design at different points in time. And this took me a little while to realize about Fusion 362 when I was just learning. Oh, we don't have the bodies on, so we can't see. But down here is stored all the things we have done to our design, which is really, really handy because at any point in time, you can go back and change something and it will recalculate your whole design, which is the real power of Fusion 360. This is its real advantage over things like Tinkercad and other such softwares. There are other parametric softwares, obviously, but yeah, this is the real power of Fusion 360. You can go back and edit things, so you don't have to get it right the first time, which is great if you have ADHD, which I do. So yeah, I just changed this one here to intersect before it was cut. I think the default will always be cut, but we changed it to intersect. So now it is just that piece. So this is our front. And yeah, so we'll just do that for the back and stuff as well. I'm gonna just make a few copies of this. This will be the back. Justin, hi Justin. Peter Frederick, probably trying to not make it so flashy they don't get used to non-natural habitats. I mean, maybe, but a plain box isn't radically less natural than a box with some texture on it. In fact, the texture's probably more like the natural. I don't know. The possums that live around here are not used to living in the wild anyway. They all live in people's roofs and they, I don't know, they don't get into our bins, thankfully. There's a lot of native food that they eat, like fruit and nectar and stuff from flowers. Little insects, I think maybe they eat too. No, I think it's mostly fruit and stuff, nectar. Yeah, so they're kind of semi-domesticated anyway. We just kind of, you don't keep them as pets though, you just leave them out in the wild. But they're not very endangered. They're very, very common. So yeah, anyway, I think I also want to kind of release this design because a lot of people get possums in their roofs here. They love living in roofs, which is another common children nightmare, is things in your wall and roof, because it's kind of terrifying again because they make really scary noises. But yeah, they often live in roofs and people feel bad pushing them out because, you know, they live in a roof because they can't find a tree because we've cut down all the trees to build houses, etc. So a lot of people feel guilty pushing them out without, you know, having somewhere to put them. So I want to have the possum box there for people who come into the makerspace so they can cut out a possum box, so that if they have to push a possum out of their roof, they're like, possum box here, you have your own house now. You can stop living in ours. So yeah. Nature don't make straight lines. Yeah, this is true. Nature doesn't make straight lines. It's true, but we have a CNC machine and I'm not about to carve it and whittle it out. I suppose I could make kind of organic shaped. That'd be cool. I should think about that some. It'd use a lot of material, but it would be cool. Would be cool. There's also later in the year we're doing a doll's house workshop for Queenslander doll houses. So I'm kind of also using this a little bit as a prototype for that. So yes, there's many things going on in this design as usual with me. Anyway, back. We're doing the back. Oh my goodness. So I'll have to take this little bit off. We'll deal with that in a tick. So we'll extrude this first. Again, 18 millimeters. We are intersecting it. It's actually a -18. That's why it's complaining. And we go, okay. And so I'll have to trim this top bit off, but that's pretty easy to do. We can jump into create a sketch. We can offset the line along here. We're not going to chain the selection. We're just going to use these bits. So chain selection will try and do a whole enclosed shape. It'll try and find an enclosed shape for you, and we don't want that. We just want these top two lines. So we just want this one, and we're going to go I think I made these 12 mil because that was the material I was using. -12? Yes. Does that look right? No. What did I make it? -13? Why is it weird? Let's not do it that way. Instead, what I'll do is I will draw a line from here and I'll just point it kind of upwards, and another one over here. And what I will do is I will make these two lines parallel, which it actually already has. This little symbol indicates that they are parallel, so that's nice. And then we will just make this, we'll just measure this distance. Yeah, we just want a dimension driven. Oh, it's 15. I wonder why it's 15. Why did I make it 15? I must have just thought that looked good. Anyway, we'll make this one 15 too. And now that's kind of like we've offset it. We've just done it in a different way. So yeah, so now I will just extrude that, get rid of that. Again, this is all kind of finicky because I didn't make it with my final end goal in mind, as in I will cut this on a CNC. It's kind of all really finicky now because I wasn't building this in sheets from the beginning. Oh, hey! Hello, Edge of Tech. Lovely to see you. How you doing, Jim? Oh, where do we go? I don't know what he's talking about. Middle possum, someone says. I'm certain that the possums will enjoy it. So Will loves bear. I hope so. Because I started to build I mentioned on Twitter a little while ago, I'm gonna build a house for the little spider that lives in our bathroom. Really cute little huntsman, little baby one. And I was like, oh, I'll build a little house. And then as soon as I said that, it went missing. But I noticed either it or another huntsman is back today. So I might build a little tiny house for the huntsman spider. Yeah. Anyway, I hope the possum likes its house. I hope it hasn't gone totally walkabout in the time since we last saw it. Yeah. Yeah, and the history is breaking constantly lately. That's a real reason to switch to FreeCAD. Oh, Daniel, what do you mean the history is breaking? I haven't found that. Sometimes if you don't set the design up in, I mean, you do have to kind of set it up in a certain way so that it doesn't break. And there is definitely a trick to that. You definitely get it more with as time goes on. I haven't had it just break randomly though. I've always had it break for a proper reason, and it'll tell you. It'll come up red or yellow, and it'll tell you what you need to fix normally. I haven't had it just bug out, but if you haven't had it bug out, let me know. And definitely report it too, so that the developers can fix it. Willow loves bears. All possums deserve a home after all. I agree. Even if they're just common brushtail possums, they should have a home. Why are you building houses for spiders? Because huntsmans are great. They eat all the bad bugs and they're really cute. And I thought it would be sweet. Stopping by to say hi before dinner. Looks great stream. I'll have to catch up on it later. Oh, thank you. Lovely to see you. Enjoy your dinner. Okay, cool. So we have bottom, front, back. Let's look at our overall one again. Oh, I broke it. Did I? Huh? Did I make two backs? I must have. What did I do here? Maybe when I did this cut, I must have had it on. Let's look at this cut again. Yeah, I must have had them both on, so it's overlapped. Yeah, that's what happened. It's overlapped that bit. Okay. So we have back. So now we need sides. Need some sides. Yes. So what I was kind of thinking here is oh. What's going on here? Ah, because the extrude cut from both. Yeah, so we also don't want it showing on this one. We just want to cut it from there. Yes, perfect. Okay. So what I've done here is on from the top, there's a little hole here, because what I was thinking was the possum could climb down from the tree. So this is, I'll jump back to the presentation for Tiki. So this is kind of how they mount them generally. You hang them over a branch and you secure them so they don't swing around, and you secure them to the tree there. So what I'm thinking is possum kind of has to get into here somehow. So I was thinking probably they climb down from this branch and then onto a little balcony thing here and then onto here. So yeah, I'll have like some texture, a little fake window and stuff going on here so they can clamber up. But yeah, I was kind of thinking climb down here, along here, into the hole, or, you know, along here, onto the deck, into the hole. So I just want to leave a few options. So that's why we have this gap at the top, because this will kind of overhang the little deck, the veranda. Yeah, so that's why there's a little gap up there. I just want to explain that. So yeah, we'll do a side. We will duplicate this again. Yes, and this will be right. And I will turn this one off so I remember this time. And what we're gonna do is a little different. Yeah, a little different, because we also need to cut the back and front out of this one. So we'll first do our extrude like we have been doing. I'll turn this one off. We'll do our extrude. And we will go negative. Oh no, we won't manually put it in. We'll go to objects and we'll make it, I gotta get rid of some of these things. We'll make it to this wall and we'll do that intersect like we have been. Voila. And we'll check out this body again. So we have to trim off this bit where the roof will go. So we'll do that. Oh no, we don't have to. It's already done. Oh, look at that. Woo! Ready to go. I think we just got to trim off this little bit here because that will be roof as well. So we'll just trim off this little bit. Again, create a sketch. Again, not the best way to do it, but this is just because I've been kind of feeling it out as I go along, which I think is perfectly valid sometimes. Oh, that wasn't properly dimensioned. Oh no, it is. Just looked a bit strange. Okay, so we're going to extrude again to cut this bit off. We're going to go to objects and we're going to go to here. Voila. Et voila. Lovely. Okay, so this is the right side and we'll do the left side as well, which is different again because we have that roof going on. So yes, we want that copy, and this will be the left side. And left side, oh, we haven't finished the right side. Did anyone spot what I've done wrong? So the right side kind of looks fine, except that the back and the front have to attach to it somehow, and right now they're overlapping, so we actually have to cut the back and the front out of the side. So yes, I will be extruding a little bit of the back and the front through the side so that it all will actually fit together. Oh, you can't see my screen. Oh my gosh, I'm so sorry all this time. Oh my god, I am so sorry. That's interesting, Daniel. Yeah, if you want any, I mean, if you're happy with FreeCAD, awesome. FreeCAD's great, go for it. But if you did want to maybe solve that, I'd be happy to take a look on my Discord. Yeah, there should be a link in the description. So if you want to send some pictures or something, or even the file, yeah, I'd be happy to take a squiz at that because I haven't had it happen. But yeah. So if you're happy with FreeCAD, go forth in FreeCAD. Yeah, definitely don't let me stop you there. That's probably the better software. I'm trying to get into FreeCAD. Clearly failing. Still using Fusion. But yeah. Oh, why is this not working? What am I doing? This is right. Ah, okay. So how are we gonna do this? Let's. We have a sketch here for the right side, which I probably should be labeling these a little. Let's start labeling these. Right. This one is back. Yeah, sorry, you can't see me labeling them, but I did label them. Okay, so this right one, what we're going to do to cut the back and the front out is we're going to use one of my other favorite functions that I wish I knew sooner, is called project and include. And this allows you to select some geometry, whether it's on a sketch or another body or whatever else, and use it on your current sketch. So at the moment, what I want is these little bits. I'll turn the side off so we can see. I want these little sides to appear on my sketch, but currently they don't, because even though they intersect, it doesn't quite get them. It sort of gets this one, but again, there's not proper lines there. So we're going to use project and include, which is amazing. So project is what I'm going to use today. Oh, intersect I think is the other one, or is it include? Is it intersect? Anyway, the other one is like intersecting. But yeah, we're going to click on here and we're going to click on here and go okay. And now we have these lovely purple bits, and I'll turn off these sides so we can see now we have these purple lines, which are driven lines. So these link to the original ones. And if I change the width of them or whatever else on those walls, it will update here. The sun is kind of beaming in on my face. I'm just gonna, it's a bit glary. I can't see the screen so well. I'm just gonna rearrange my curtains a little. The sun is moving because we're heading into winter here. That's a bit better. Cool, so now we have these actual boxes. These are the same as the front and the back, which is so handy, so handy. So yeah, I'm gonna grab these now and we're gonna extrude these through the right side. So now, I'll do it proper. I'll do it proper. We'll go to object. Oh no, where? One side, two objects. Yes, and we'll do it to there. So now we have a proper right side. This is except we got a little bit at the top. We'll fix that. We'll fix that. Why do we have a little bit there? Weird. I'm not sure. Anyway, it's an easy fix. I'm kind of curious now. Why are this? Oh, maybe it's because, it's because this roof is 18 mil and that one is 15 mil. So actually back here in this sketch, yeah, that'll be it. Back here in this sketch, yeah, I think this is the way I want to solve it. Yeah, it is. This is the way I want to solve it. Cool. All right. So this extrude, we don't have to make a new extrude. We can just open up our old extrude and click our little box that we just made. And now, did I just, I just bugged it up because I had the wrong thing showing. Where is it? Oh yeah, it worked. I thought I'd bugged it all up, but I didn't. Yay. Cool, so now we have our right side. That one was slightly complicated. Again, because I built this in the wrong way. So we'll do the left side now. This will be left, and this one should be all right. This one shouldn't be too tricky. Left. Yes. We'll turn the right side off. We will extrude this wall, and we will go to objects, and we will click the inside of the wall, just how we've been doing all the time. We will change this to intersect. And voila! We have the beginning of our left wall, but again, like the right side, we have to chop the front and the back out of this one so that we actually have a place we can screw everything in. Yeah, so that it works. Ah! Hey Devin, how you doing? Possum boxes. Yeah, I'm making a house for possums. I probably should do a little recap because I was just explaining at the beginning. But yes, we are making houses for possums. These are the standard houses for possums, but because, you know, I can't do anything correctly, I'm making them look like Queenslanders, which are the style of house really common to where I am. So we're giving it this kind of vibe. That will be the ultimate goal, but today I'm just getting all the stuff to cut on the CNC machine, which I will hopefully be using tonight, and I will start on any of the cute little laser cut extra bits around it, so all this little fretwork and balustrades and stuff. And yeah, so that might be, I will start on that today, but I don't know whether I'll finish that today, but I definitely need to finish the box today because I'm CNC cutting it tonight. So that's what we're doing, Devin. We're making boxes of possums. And again, not American possums, not again, you haven't seen this, but to anyone who's new, not American possums, Australian possums, which are real cute. And this possum in particular, who has been haunting our garden, is a little baby, very cute, very cute. This is him very sleepy because they sleep at daytime, and we woke him up and he had a good hiss at us for that. And he's just the dearest little thing. And here is him eating a strawberry. So cute. Look at his little face. Ah, his little tongue. I can't even. Anyway, so that's what we're doing for anyone who's joined since I did my little ramble at the beginning. Yes. Ah, thanks, Devin. Lovely to see you. Yes. Oh, everyone talking about FreeCAD and Blender and stuff. That's awesome. I struggle with Blender. It's a lot better since they've done the new update, but I still struggle. The user interface is still difficult to me. Anyway, yes, we're going to do the same thing we did last time. We're going to create a sketch. We're going to project onto that sketch. Project and include. Yeah, it's intersect. I don't know. It says project and include, and then, oh, there's the include. I only ever use these two. I don't know what these do. These do. I should try them. Anyway, we're going to use project. We'll turn off our left side for now, and we're going to project these two bits onto our current sketch. Woo! And now we have the little shapes, and we can turn off our front and back, and we can click these, and we can extrude them like we did before, and we will go to object and click the other side. We want to cut. What's it doing? Hang on, let's start that again. We'll turn off the front and back. We will select our profiles. We will change the oh, it's the start. I just need to change the extent type to object. I was clicking the wrong thing. And then we go like that, click the back, and voila, we have a side. This is the left side. So now we have a front, a back, a right, a left, and a bottom. And this is everything I need to cut on the CNC. So this is pretty good. I might do the layout, and then we'll come back and start adding cute bits to it. How's that sound? So cute, says Andy. They are, aren't they? They're just so cute. Their little faces and their little hands. I had pet rats growing up, which to anyone who hasn't had a pet rat probably sounds really gross, but they are the most lovely little creatures. They're like little pocket dogs. They have so much personality, and they do just the dearest, cutest things. And they have little hands like possum hands. They hold things and they'll like eat an almond like this. And it's just so cute, and possums kind of remind me of my pet rats. So yeah, it's very cute, very cute. Are they like all other Australian animals in being able to kill humans with just a blink? No, these possums, they don't have any poison or anything. I don't know, they might carry a couple of diseases, but not even really. The possums are pretty all right. Yeah, possums are pretty all right. Some of our creatures carry diseases, like koalas almost all have chlamydia. Except it's in their eyes. Yeah, that's a thing. Our fruit bats have Hendra virus, really, really deadly virus. But possums, I think they're pretty all right. Like, I wouldn't touch a dead one. I probably wouldn't touch a living one. You don't really want to touch wildlife. I'm pretty hands off. Yeah, this is why I'm building a box just to put in a tree and leave it there. Yeah, you don't really want to be touching them. But they can't kill you. They'd have a hard time killing you. You'd need many, many, many possums to kill you, probably. What am I doing for scratch proofing on the outside? Probably not scratch proofing it too much. It'll be form ply, so it'll be pretty hardcore. Form ply actually has a layer of plastic on top, so it'll be pretty hardcore. But I won't really be doing too much. I'll paint it a little bit with some sort of acrylic or something that'll be relatively safe. But I'm not really worried too much about the scratching. I'm going to be using form ply, which is pretty hardcore. It's not going to rot in anytime soon. I think they recommend marine ply, but I have form ply, which should be all right. I'll seal it with some polyurethane, and it'll last a few years. Eventually I'll make another one. I don't know. Yeah. Possums are tame compared to our vicious drop bears. It's true. You don't want to mess with a drop bear. They are often confused for koalas, and they're a real problem, especially for tourists who don't know how to protect themselves from them. So you do got to watch the drop bears. But possums are pretty good. Possums are pretty good. Do they go around in gangs? No, they're pretty solitary. They're pretty solitary. You'll see mums and babies really often. They're really quite well suited to the city. So you'll often see them walking along the power lines and the babe with a baby on their back. The babies live in a pouch when they're really little, kind of like kangaroos and other marsupials, but then they hang out on mum's back for a long time. And then they just follow their mum when they get too big, and eventually she hisses at them to make them leave. But they're pretty solitary. They don't live in gangs. Okay, I've been rambling about possums quite a long time. I'm gonna lay all these out so that I have a layout for the CNC machine, the Savo, and this afternoon. Sorry, I'm just talking Australian at you all. And then we'll jump back in and we'll start adding cutesy bits to it. Cutesy bits, yeah. Because I can't do anything without making it stupidly cute. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to move these objects, lay them all flat. And the way I'm going to do that is using the move and copy tool, which I don't think I've talked about here on a stream before. So there's lots of different ways you can move things, and some of them are more useful than others. I particularly enjoy point to point, which allows you to move a point of an object to another point on another object, or the origin point, which is quite handy. But I think for now, I'm just gonna like lay them all flat, like open it up like a box unfolding. So we'll do that. We'll rotate this and we should just be a 90. So lay that one flat. We'll do the same here. Move and copy. We will lay this one flat. Oh, is this joint? Oh, I was rotating the wall. Okay, something you gotta watch. If you have faces selected, it will just rotate the face. We want it to rotate the whole body. Sometimes it'll default to weird things, so it was defaulting to the face, and that's why it went all crazy like that. But we want the body. Yeah, I don't know why sometimes it defaults to other things, and it's just a little bizarre. But anyway, we want this one. So you'll notice as I'm doing this, when it first brings up the move and copy tool, you'll have lots of different points you can snap to, and like if you snap to this point, it'll rotate from that point. So you want to choose the point that makes sense for this, and because I want it to lay on the flat plane, I'm using these points down the bottom to start my rotates, or to sort of be the axis or the origin point of the move, I guess. I don't really know what you call it. Pivot. That's what Fusion calls it, and that's a good word for it. Okay, so we've unfolded it. That's good. And now I'll just kind of tessellate these so that I can bring them out and in a nice shape. I wonder if that will fit in there. Maybe. Let's try. So let's move it this one. We'll rotate it this way. Actually, let me just measure something, because there's a tiny little offcut. Ah, it's too big. How big are these ones? Ooh. Maybe I won't cut that little offcut, because then if I do, then I should be able to fit it all on the offcut that's still on the machine. 110. Oh, no, I won't. I won't be able to anyway. Okay, we'll have to change it to the other one anyway. Ignore me. Just planning for future. Probably not making loads of sense. Oh, that was weird. Want to move this one. Yes. Bodies. Yes. 90 degrees. Yeah, I think I must have just been. And you can also like do multiple moves at once. So you can rotate and then sort of move it into place. I'm going to leave a bit of room. I can change these all later in the CNC software too. I don't need to get it perfect. But I just thought I'd get it close. Because the CNC software has like a nesting capability. We use VCarve, which is just the software that was recommended by the manufacturer of the CNC machine. Yeah, so that's the software I will be using later on. Ah, I didn't really want to finish that. And now I'll move it over here. And I'm dragging the arrows because if you just grab it, sometimes it does unexpected things. And so you can control it a bit better if you use the arrows to slide things around. That's all. Yeah, okay, cool. So we have our pieces. This looks good. I think with the CNC, sometimes you get tear out on the bottom. So I want the bits that are facing the bottom to actually end up being the top. So I actually want this side, I actually want it to cut from like this side, if that makes sense. I think I might do that in post though. I think I might export it. Otherwise I have to rotate these all over, don't I? Do I? Maybe I can rotate them all now. I think I can rotate more than one body at a time. Yeah. So I will, oh, I don't know why I selected that pivot. No, we want, let's do that pivot. Yeah. And we'll rotate them all. Oh, why is that not working? Let's try that again. Move and copy. Bodies. Let's select all these bodies and we'll set the pivot, which is that like sort of origin point of the move, to here, this center here. And then we will, why is it not rotating? Okay, we'll do it in post. I'm not sure why it's not rotating. Maybe it only does one body at a time. I don't know. I don't know. But anyway, let's create a sketch. Oh, I can just mirror it in the sketch. Yeah, the doy. Anyway, let's create a sketch and we'll do that project and include projects. Wunderbar. So we have a sketch with all our pieces. Yay! And this will be our cut sketch. Let's, oh, cut. CNC cut. Let's do that. And let's do the mirror. I wonder if I can do, I'll do a line here. That could be my mirror, and I want it to be horizontal vertical. Yes. And I want this to be a construction line because I don't want it to be a real line because it's not actually part of our geometry. And we'll select all of this and do a mirror. This will be our mirror line. So it's projected that over that way. And now I'm going to hope that I can make these all construction lines. I can without it mirroring that. So now I have a sketch that is just those things. And I think if I export this, test, I think if I export this, it should not show the construction lines. So let's check that. Is it doing it? Did that work? Didn't look like it worked. Desktop. Oh yeah, here it is. Let's, oh, why is it only 3 kilobytes? Maybe it's still thinking about it. Oh, maybe it's just really small. I suppose it could be. Open with Illustrator. Will Illustrator do it? See if Illustrator will do it. Beautiful. What are we saying in the thing? Billy, make sure you keep a section for your tabs. Oh yes, yeah. I can jimmy all this around in the software, and it'll actually lay it out and leave enough room for the tabs and everything. So I'll just let the software do that, because I'm not sure exactly. Oh, I suppose I'm using a 6mm bit. I could kind of work it out, but I'm just not comfortable that I will anticipate all those needs because it's actually the first thing I'll ever be cutting on a CNC. Yeah, it's the first thing. Sorry, I was just making sure I was saying that correctly. Yes. Ooh, I'm going black. Oh, here we go. Yes, okay. Okay, so I have a DXF. It doesn't look like anything, but that could just be because it doesn't have any stroke width or anything. So, we're over here. So it doesn't really look like anything, but that could be because we don't have a stroke. This is ancient Illustrator. It's the last one I bought, so oh, it's way up here. Huh, everything's out of place. Sorry. Wait. Yeah, no, that didn't work. That didn't work. Wonder why not? Let's just minimize Illustrator for now. What happened? What happened? I wonder. Oh, did I export the wrong one? I exported the wrong one. What's this one? Oh, it's sketch 9. Huh, that'd be why. So you can't see, but I labeled the wrong thing. This is the left side. That'd be why it didn't work. So we'll try saving this as a DXF. And we'll go test. And we'll replace it. Yes, let's try again. Alrighty. 6 kilobytes. Yeah, this looks like it has something in it now. Okay. Oh, this could be it. Oh, it's giant. Okay, so it does still export the construction lines, but that's fine. We can just delete those. Which ones do I want? Which side is the side I want? I want to delete this side. Yes. What's that weird dot? Don't know what that dot's all about. So we'll just keep this. So that will be my CNC cut for later. Okay, we'll just save that. Yeah, beautiful. Okay, so I've done what I definitely need to do today. So let's do pretty things. Pretty things. Will it be cut or milled? Oh, what's the difference? I'll be using a CNC router, and it has a bit that is flat on the bottom. I actually don't know the difference between cut and milled. Yeah, spoiler board on the bottom, and it would get rid of tear out. Yeah, we do have a spoiler board, but I've noticed it's still sometimes a little bit. Maybe our feeds and speeds are wrong. I don't know. Anyway, so we can jump back to before we did all those moves, and everything still looks like a little house. And actually, we might just work on the base model. I might just call this not base because it kind of will get confused with bottom, but we'll call it overall model. I don't know. What do we call it? What's a good name? I mean, overall model is what I thought of first, so that'll make the most sense to me later, maybe. Okay. We should do our little veranda. Oh, I just thought the veranda. How will I make that work? Because I kind of screwed it on the outside. Oh, maybe the veranda can be a bit higher. Yeah, because the veranda doesn't need to be down low. That will make it look even more like... Oh, that's perfect. Yes, we'll do that. We'll do the veranda out this way. Yeah. With a laser or drill bit, but you answered it already. Oh, okay, cool. Yeah, so I think all the little bits on the outside will be laser cut. And the big chunky bits, this 18 mil thick stuff, will be form ply on the CNC mill. Yes. I just want to triple check I got this measurement right, because it looks quite thin. No, it is 18 mil. Okay, we're fine. We're fine. All right, well, let's do our little veranda. And for anyone who doesn't know what I'm talking about, verandas are decks. We call them verandas here. Don't know why. That's just what we do. So yes, let's do the little veranda, and we'll have it come up, I don't know, 150. Let's try 120. That seems like a good height. Yeah, let's do it like that. Because normally Queenslanders have quite tall roofs on, like, rooms on top. Like the living levels are quite high ceilings, and then the underneath is not a full story, so you'll hit your head on everything underneath. And it's very common now that we have air conditioning and stuff to lift a house up and then build in underneath. But the traditional style is open underneath, so you just have loads of storage for random crap that collects dust underneath your house. Yeah, okay, cool. So we have a sketch there. Let's create a sketch on that plane. So what I just did then is I made a construction plane. If you want to make a sketch somewhere and you don't have like a side to put it on or some existing geometry to start your sketch on, you can just build a construction plane. And there's loads of different ways to build a construction plane. The one I just used was called an offset plane, which means you select an object that's running in the same angle as you want your final plane, and then you move it up or down from that plane. So I was using the bottom and I moved it up till it was about there. Yes, I hope that makes some sense. Oh, I just clicked the wrong thing for create a sketch. We want to create a sketch here. Yeah. So we want a little deck, and I want the deck to go around two sides of the house. Often decks would do this. They would wrap around at least two sides of a Queenslander. And so we're going to do that on this one too. And now is the time we can use our intersect function. So we've been using project quite a lot, but intersect will allow you to select a body, and it will give you all the lines where your current sketch plane cuts that body. So it's going to give us like the whole of this box, which you can kind of see there, that little purple outline. which is super duper handy. And like with the project and include, it will update if anything changes earlier in the timeline, which is bloody marvelous. So there we have our veranda-ish size. I'm also thinking the veranda kind of has to go out pretty much as far as the roof, so we can project the roof down as well, like we have been for our sides. So we're going to project, I'll use this bit and this bit of the roof, and maybe even this bit too. We'll just project all the roof geometry down so that we can see it all. And now if I turn off this overall model, it almost looks like a floor plan, which is kind of really neat. And it'll be really handy for us. So what I might do first is make all of these construction lines, because we don't actually want these to be our final geometry mostly. And we'll come back in, and I think the only ones we do want will be these sides of the box. So these are the sides of the box here. We want those to be still legit, but everything else can be construction line. In Germany, you have a veranda and a terrace. A veranda is on the main entrance side of the house. A terrace is often on the back side, and most of the times bigger. Oh, there you go, neat. Yeah, we often have two verandas as well. Sometimes the front will be just a little perch, but sometimes the front one is the big one. I don't know, maybe people like their neighbors more back in the day. I mean, I think they probably did. We were a bit insular now. Insular is probably the right term. Yeah, so I want to draw a little line along where this roof is. This is the hole for the possum to climb into. Remember I said I'd leave that hole, but I'm gonna actually put the veranda there so it has something to climb onto, and I'm drawing it out like this because I want to make sure it's snapping to the right points. So now I'm going to select this line and this little spot here and use the coincident constraint, and now it will snap, which is nice. And I also want this to be a right angle, so what I can do is select these two lines and use the perpendicular. I could also have made it parallel to that one. It would also do the same thing, but I'm just choosing to do it this way. There's often many ways to skin the proverbial cat with Fusion. Cool, so I'm gonna bring a little bit more veranda along this way. This roof's gonna hang out a little bit further because that's very common, is that the little awning thing hangs out further than other parts of the Queenslanders. So we're going to do a similar thing over here. I'm gonna have it kind of go like that, and then we're going to come back in because I just want to be really specific about what it's snapping to. I want it to snap to here, and I just don't want to leave any of that up to chance. So we're going to use perpendicular and put that little right angle in there. So perfect. That will be the basis of our little ledge for the possum. I might even cut this out of the ply, the form ply. I think that's probably a good idea. So yes, let's do that. I will make this and put it on our sheet as well. I think I want to move it up to 18 mil. We'll do 18. And we don't want to join it. We want to create a new body. Because if we join it, then we have to undo it, which is what I've been doing for a lot of this stream. Terrace is on a second floor. Front is porch. Veranda is back or side. Yeah, we just don't use porch much. I don't know why. Maybe it was just my family. Maybe they just didn't know the right words. I don't know. Cool. So we have a little veranda going on, and we can make our little fake under the house bit along here, which will be cute. I just realized I don't even need to paint it black because it'll actually be in through there, which will be cute. That'll be cute. So yeah, I might, while we're here, I'll put this veranda. I will put that onto our cut plane. So we will, at the moment I'm working before we move them. And it just moves them for us after, but I'm just going to put the move in here and then jump back a little. So we will move this body, and we might move, maybe we move this corner. So we're going to use point to point, which is one of my favorites I mentioned before. Point to point. So this first point here, and then we're going to use origin point to snap it down to the ground plane. See that? You just move from there to there, which is really handy if you want things to all end up level. Oh, though I somehow, because I added the 3 mil. I'm not on the ground plane anymore. So that won't be quite right for our sketch. So instead of the target point being the origin point, I'm going to make it this corner. So now it should be in line with all our other little bits later on. Yes. So I will hit, yeah, this is fine. I'll hit OK. And we might just have to move it a little bit around. I'll turn the origin off. We don't need the origin. Oh, so many sketches. Let's look at all of these pieces. We'll turn off the overall model. We will move the veranda around just so that it fits somewhere. Like yay. Okay. And we'll just pop that move in before we make the sketch so that we can also include this one in a sketch. We will, I suppose we didn't need it to be perfectly on the plane, the same plane as the rest now that I think about it, but it's done. So yeah, we're just project and include, and then I'm going to mirror this over that line again. The thing about mirror too is that you don't need the line to go the whole, it doesn't need to split the whole bit of the, like this mirror line doesn't have to extend to here. If the mirror line was shorter, it would still work for all these objects. It doesn't have to actually be the whole length of the object you're mirroring. Yeah, I'll still keep this one as a construction just so I remember which is which. But there we go. So that's updated our sketch. I'll just have to re-export it at the end, but I might do other things as well. My printer is just finished. Yeah, I'm just going to turn this off. Sorry, I'm also printing a whole heap of, I've started lace making and I've made a bunch of lace bobbins. So I'm just printing a whole bunch, but there's not enough to go and make another one. There's only a tiny bit of filament left. So I'm just turning that printer off. Oh, you got so lost, Ed. I'm sorry, I wasn't explaining very well. I actually run a Fusion class, and in that one I do explain things well because I made notes to myself so that I would explain things well. I got really good feedback on it too, actually. I could probably, I've got the slides up on my website. There's a link to that in the description. It's on the blog. I'll grab a link real quick. And I got really, really good feedback for the Fusion class. So I'll have to run that again at some point. I'm just still adjusting to my new job. It's more than full-time hours. Yeah, so I'm still just adjusting. So that's the slides. So if you want to flick through those, you can. And this was the feedback, which was just so overwhelmingly positive. It was so great. Almost everyone filled out the form, like the survey, and they were all so lovely about it. So yeah. Oh, you missed it and you're waiting for the next one. I'm sorry, Ed. I'll try. I'm just still adjusting to the workload. It's intense. It's very, very rewarding, but also very demanding. Yeah, I'll get there. I will settle in. I just, yeah, need to not overwhelm myself because I'll get burnt out. I'm the kind of person to get burnt out. All right, so let's do cute decks. I'm here for cute decks. So this will be the starting point, and if I jump back into the slide deck, you can see I'm gonna do this little cute wooden pail thing on the bottom, and some of these are actually arched. I don't know whether I don't have a demo, but oftentimes they're actually like got little arches cut out of them, which is really cute. So I think I'm gonna do that because it kind of makes it finish not in a dead straight thing where normally there would be the ground. It kind of makes it fade out, so kind of like flying buttresses almost, and I think that's probably going to be better given it's hanging. So that's what I'm going to do, and I'm going to remember to go back to Fusion this time, so I'm not leaving y'all hanging. And the way I'm going to do this is I am going to use that project and include again. Project, we're going to project that right there. Beautiful. And I think I'm going to make some posts because often there's like these are all on stumps, these houses. So we'll make some stumps and we'll put a stump in here and we'll make it, I don't know, how wide? Let's do it 15. I think I was liking the look of 15 before, and I don't know how long to make it, but I think I'll make it as long as this is. So I will again project and include and project that line up, and now I can snap this corner to there using coincident. Yes. And now we're going to make a pattern. Another really awesome, very handy tool is in making patterns. It means we don't have to do as much work. And I'm going to use the extent type one, which makes a pattern up to a certain measurement. And the distance will be, I wonder if I can't. The distance will be whatever this is. So what is that distance? We will, just 2 seconds, we will quickly find out what this distance is. D, yep, it's not one that I can change, so that's fine, that's a good warning. So 386 is the distance, and then it'll have to probably be minus the 15, something like that. I think it's normally. We'll see in just a tick. Rectangular pattern, directions, this direction, we only want, yeah, so we only want going 1 in the other direction, and we want it to go to the extent 386. Is that right? Oh no, other way. This one has to go to 386. Can we see them? Let's just start that again. I'm not sure why we can't see them. Sometimes with Fusion, I find it easier to like just restart something if it's being weird. Just like do it again. I'm like, I don't know why you're being strange. So oh, look at that, that snapped perfectly. So we'll just add a few more in here. Did snap perfectly in. Oh, not quite. 371. Yeah, that's it. How many should we do? I feel like I think 4. And now I'm feeling these are just a little too wide. No, we'll do 3 because it's making it look too tall. Where's our pattern? We can come back into the pattern, thankfully, and fix it. So now we have 3 sections. Yeah, I think that's better because it was making it look too tall when it was 4. They're not tall normally. So yeah, that's good. That's good. I like this. And now we'll do like the little mini pails, and then we'll do some like arches out of them, I think. I think that'll be cute. Yes. Cool. So the way we'll do our little mini pails is kind of the same way. I will jump in here, and I think I'll make this top cover up the dodgy edge of the form ply. So it'll kind of start beneath here. We'll have the paling starting below here, I think. Yeah. Oh, that's not what I wanted. I want a rectangle. Rectangle. Yes, and we'll make these 5 mil sounds good. And I don't know, what looks good? I guess we just make them the whole distance, and then we'll cut them later. I'll leave a little gap at the top because they don't normally touch there. Will I still be able to join it all? Yes, because I'll put some railings in behind. Yeah. Just thinking out loud. Sorry, everyone. So now I probably want to dimension how far this is away, or it could get a little squiffy. So I'm going to select this line and this one and click D for dimension. And I might make these 5 mil? Is 5 mil too much? We'll see. We'll have a look. Sometimes the dimensions, you know, we're mimicking a real life thing, but because it's miniature, everything kind of can look a little strange if you don't make a few changes. So we'll try this 5 by 5. I think it's too close. Maybe let's try 3. Too far rather. Let's try 3. Yeah, 3. 3 looks good. 3. I like 3. All right, and we'll do the pattern again. Pattern. And we'll come in this direction. Woo! And we'll just have to work out. I'm kind of going to dodgy it because because it's kind of sometimes not worth calculating everything. And I think I'm just going to do one of these segments and we'll duplicate it in 3D because for some reason Fusion actually prefers that you use the pattern tool in 3 dimensions. It struggles more with 2 dimensions. I don't know why. So strange. So strange. Yeah. Anyway. So now we'll do the little archway thing. Little archway. And I think I'll just do that with a circle, will I? How does that look? Circle looks quite good. I was thinking it might need to be an oval, but I'm liking circle. Yeah, I think so. Yeah. Nah, let's do an oval. an ellipse. Ellipse. I think for ellipse you start at the center point, don't you? Yeah. So we'll need a center point for this, which is quite easy to find if we make a construction line like that. And then if we hover over here, at some point, it's hard to see on here, but a little triangle pops up, and that is my midpoint. So now I can draw this down. I might extend it past here. I'll draw it like that, and then I can straighten it up with a horizontal or vertical constraint. And again, I can make it a construction line. So, I have to select it first. That helps. Construction line. Woo! This one can be a construction line too. And now, oh, it didn't work. Now it is construction line. And we can put a little ellipse here, a little ellipse. And we'll start it here, we'll stretch it out to here, and we'll move it up a little. So now we have a bit more granular control, and I think that is better. And we will make this ellipse not a construction line, but a full line. Yes, okay. So let us extrude all these bits out. I'll have to make a little bit of the railing in a tick. I think it'll be easier to do that on a different sketch, potentially. Okay, and the plywood that we have is 6 or 4 mil, and I think I'll use 4 mil for a lot of this, so we'll bring that out. Oh, I need a new body. Oh, actually, it's going to be annoying. It's going to make 50 million bodies. So let's do the railing in here too. Do the railing. Do it all in one. I will make a little 5 mil railing here, and I might do another one down here. I'll just dimension these. D for dimension 5, because normally it's the same sort of wood as the long bits. 5 on these ones, because they're not functional, they just sort of obfuscate all your junk that you store under the house. Cool. Okay, so now we just gotta select all the little bits. I wonder if I do that, is that gonna freak it out? I still have to select 50 million bits. That's not. We'll just select the ones we want one by one. Or if I just go like this. Oh yeah, looking more promising. Yeah, okay. And now these. Oh no, I don't want. Oh yeah, I don't want that bit. That's fine. That's not too hard. There's probably an easier way to do this. If there is, let me know, because it's quite tedious, really. Yes, and we'll make this come out 4 millimeters, and it will be a new body. New body. Yes. Slides look good even on a projector / good contrast. Oh, do you have a? Are you looking at them on a projector, Daniel, or have you used them in your? Have you used them in your classroom? That would be nice. I would like to hear that, if so. Okay, cool. So this is one of our fronts, and we're gonna duplicate it 3 times. So we're gonna make a pattern to make this piece 3 times. So yes, we are going to go in this way direction. And why is it? Oh yes, because it has to overlap a bit. Like that, and it should be the same as we had last time. So, oh no, it's not quite right. I don't know. I'm just gonna kind of dodgy this because, yeah, that's it. I'm gonna kind of dodgy it because it's gonna be easier. Oh, why did that not duplicate? Oh, it didn't like the pattern. Weird. Let's try again. Let's turn off some other stuff. Maybe it's getting confused. Oh, it's because it's doing the faces. Okay, so with the pattern, I want it to do the whole body. That's probably why I was freaking out, because there was nothing for it to put those faces on. That's probably why it was not understanding what I wanted it to do. So again, we'll just repeat that. Go in this direction. We'll do this, and we just want it to line up, and I haven't used any 0.5 millimeters, so we'll just -248. One of these should match up perfectly, or pretty perfectly. I think that's fine. That'll be fine. Cute! Oh my god, I already love it. It's so cute. I might make this a little longer. Yeah, let's make that bit a little longer. That's easy to do. We can jump back into our sketch and we can just move this. Whoops. Whoops. Ah! Oh my god, what am I doing? We can just move this ellipse center point down. Might even bring it right down. Let's see what it looks like there. And we'll move this pale railing thing. I'm not using the right words. Move that down too. How's that look? Still, I think that's a little too low now. We'll just move it up again. Just a little bit. Everything's fiddly. Did that snap? Oh, good, it didn't. Sometimes it snaps and then all hell breaks loose. Oh! Oh, it didn't like that. That time it did break. Well, we can just fix up this extrude. Not sure what happened there. It was very odd. Just lost half of the geometry, but we didn't really... Maybe I overlapped it accidentally and it lost all that meaning. Don't know. Anyway, it's fine. Can do like that. Like that. You think it might get caught in the slots? No, I don't think so, because it can't access these really. I mean, it can climb up kind of like that, but if we look back at this drawing, it'll have to access it from the tree. So it's not coming at it like in this direction. It'll have to come at it from the tree. So it'll have to come at it along here or along the roof and down through the roof or something. So back on my design, it'll have to come along here or along the roof. I'm not going to add like proper railings above here. But yeah, this is like only one of the only places it can actually walk on. So I think it'll be okay. I hope. It's just like twigs it can't get to. I don't know. I don't think it can get caught. They're like, this is like 3 millimeters. I don't even think their claws are, well, their claws are probably 3 millimeters, but it'd have a hard time getting caught. Can't even really get down there. I think it'll be okay. I hope. I say that now and you've got me all scared. Yeah, I hope it'll be okay. I mean, yeah, it can climb anyway at once, but it can't climb on nothing. So this bit is all air. There's nothing for it to climb onto here when it's hanging on the side of a tree. This is the side that hits the tree. There's nothing for it to climb onto to get here. I mean, it could climb down. It could try climbing down, but it's just going to get there and not be able to go any further. I don't know. I don't know. I could build this out. I could put like another bit underneath here and then it definitely couldn't get in there. I could like do that the fake thing I was talking about before. Maybe. I don't know. I think what would be most likely to happen is it tries to go down here and then it just breaks a bit off. Like it just kind of grips onto it and just snaps a little bit with its little hands. I don't even think they're that strong though. I don't know. I think it'll be alright. I don't think there's anywhere I could kind of get caught. So the tree don't count. The tree does count. The tree is here. The tree's here. The body of the tree is here. There's no tree here. I'll go back to the picture. Tree is on the back. There's no tree out here. It's just the back. So it can climb up the tree and onto the little ledge to get in the front. But there's no branch here for it to climb onto to get into. I don't know. I don't know. Maybe I'm not imagining what you're imagining. I'm not sure. Maybe draw a picture, stick it on the Discord, and because if you reckon there's a place you can get caught, I don't want it to get caught. That would be really bad. So yeah, if you reckon that's gonna happen, let me know. But I might need a picture or something because I don't think I'm understanding the same thing that you are. Anyway, I'm going to combine these 3 fences for now. We're going to use the combine tool to do that. Combine. And now this is the front fence. Front. It's not really even a fence, but we'll call it a fence because that's what my instinct says it is. Sometimes I just go with the naming convention that seems to make the most sense to me at that point in time, because it's probably going to make the most sense to me in future as well. So I'll do similar for the backs and the sides. I don't have to do that on stream. That might be a little boring for you all to watch, but maybe we'll do like a little fake window on the side here, because I kind of like, we have these cute little windows on our Queenslanders that look like this. They come out like this, have a little cute little awning thing. So I might do that on the side here. I might make a little fake one of those and pop that in there, because it'll be cute and add to the Queenslanderiness. Have you checked the dimensions of the possum so the veranda is big enough? Yeah, I think it matters less than maybe we all think about. So this is a 12mm hole, like 12mm diameter. So that's how the possum can fit in. This is a 10mm deck, but the possum doesn't actually need all of that. As you can see in the diagram over here, they're just using a tiny little branch for it to grab onto. So I think with this is more than enough. And I'm going to add texture along here. Like there's going to be the little palings. I'm going to have like little fake windows and stuff. So there'll be more than enough for it to grab a hold of. I'll do the similar along here. I'll do like some little awnings and stuff. So there's lots of little handholds for it. There'll be little fretwork along here. So it'll be able to grab all over this kind of thing. I could put a little lip here, but I just didn't want to freak it out. I could put a little balustrade, but I didn't want to like limit it that much. So I was going to put them up here. But yeah, there'll be lots of handholds for it. It'll fit. It'll be fine. It's also a baby possum. But yeah, like even the big ones will be fine, because this is the right size hole for the big ones. And this is not just on this diagram, or I'm not showing my Fusion 360 again. It's not just on that diagram, but it's on multiple. I researched a few different possum box designs, and they're all that sort of size. So yeah, it should be fine. Should be fine. Just give it a little mailbox, maybe decorate it with an address. That would be cute. That would be cute. I don't know what address I should use. Should we use the Finding Nemo one, like 32 Wallaby Way, Sydney? Sydney's very far away from me. Don't know whether that'll go down really well. Yeah. Okay. Anyway, I want to do a little window. Oh, should we do a little bit of fretwork? No, let's do a little window. Let's do a little window. I'm not sure now. Let's do the texture on the side. Let's do the texture on the side. And then, actually, I might do it this way. Yeah, because I'll run a profile along there. Yeah, let's do that. Let's do that. We will create a sketch here. And we will do our 4mm line out of here. I think, so Ed, you're saying there'll be nothing for it to catch onto, but I want it to have places to catch onto, because it needs to be able to grip to stuff. So yeah, that's my reasoning. It needs to have handholds so that it doesn't just slip off. It could get wet and rainy and all sorts of stuff. So having little bits for it to grab onto is actually what I want for this. I know that sounds a little strange, but there we are. Your address plus P for possum on the sign. I am not putting my address on the internet. I have so many stalkers. That is not happening. We are going to make a very fake address if we put any address on it. Definitely not putting my real one on there. That would be a disaster. Yes, not happening. Cool. So I think on this side, what I'm going to do is put another line along here. So we have this kind of, this is a little profile sticking out of the edge. See that? Kind of sticking out of the edge, like yay. And now we're going to, if we just take a look back at our pictures, not that one, that one, these kind of flare out. They're kind of like on a little gradient on the sides. So I'm going to make one of those, and then we'll kind of duplicate it on the way down. I might make it from here upwards though, because, and I'll snap to the front. Because along here, we'll do another projector and include. We'll project the front of this veranda on, because I'll actually kind of mimic this thing on the side. on the side there too, so it actually looks like a proper story all the way around. So I'll do a kind of, they kind of normally kind of dint like this, and then that's kind of one, and I'll just work out a distance that this should be. Let's make them 12. What does that look like? Yeah, 12 seems all right. Okay. It might be a disaster, or you might be able to get rid of all your stalkers at once and get them there and feed them to the possum. I wouldn't want to feed a possum, people. That would be no good for the possum. Poor little possum. No, I don't want to deal with any of my stalkers. Be nice if it was a joking matter, but it's not. Cool. So that's one of the paling, or one of the slidings, something like that. Oh, we didn't want to join. Don't join. No join. New body. Yes, new body. Yeah, okay. And now we'll duplicate, we'll pattern this all the way up, and we want to pattern the whole body, yes. And we want to pattern it, this time I'm going to use spacing. So before we did extent, we said we want to make 3 copies and we want them to fit in this area. Actually, I think it was 4 copies and we want them to fit in this whole area. But this time I'm going to use spacing because we know the distance we want it to go. And because we just wrote it in, which was 12, was it 12? I think it was 12. Forgotten already. Yeah, it was 12. Cool. So now we can just keep upping the number that we're making, the quantity, and it will keep popping on up until it fills up the top like that. Beautiful. I might also, we've kind of got a weird view on. Let's put that on. That might make it a little easier for everyone to see. Yeah. And now we've got 50 million bodies of these. So let's join them. Combine, join, yes. So now we just have the one panel. So that's kind of like our sliding, which looks quite good, I think. I think that looks quite right. That looks legit. That is quite cute. Yeah. Yeah, I think that's good and in proportion. And under here, we'll do a similar thing to here. But it'll be the fake version. Yeah. I wonder if I should keep going or if we should call it here. Because I'm getting a little tired and I do have to get ready for work. Maybe I might do one little piece of fretwork here. I'll do a little cute thing here. Let's do that. We'll create a sketch along here. And I'm thinking something kind of like this, and maybe with a spline here, something like that. And we'll do a bit of this, bit of that. This might change a little. Oh, I might even continue this spline. Yeah, I might actually delete this one. I'll do a cute little something like this, maybe. And I'll fiddle with these a little, but like, I'm thinking kind of like that. Often these would come down a little. The fretwork can be really diverse. They come in kind of all shapes and sizes. It's kind of kind of one of those crafts that woodworkers get really into. They kind of make all kinds of pretty things. So I might do something kind of like, I might look for some historical inspiration too. We might I kind of want to make it a little lower. Not sure. Let's try that for now. Yeah, okay. And I might do some little, oh, what am I doing? No, I don't want to make a new sketch. We just want, yeah. So we'll do a little offset. Oh, I need to make a couple more points. Point here, point here. point here, point here. Cool, and now I can do an offset and we'll do the 5 mil again, like that, like we've been using elsewhere. And I might do some more, another little pattern of these lines along here like we were doing before, and I'll make them nice and long because we're gonna do them all over. And this will be 3 mil from here again, 3, and we'll create another pattern. The direction will be in that way, and we will add a few more. And I might leave that one solid, I think, because it might look strange if we try and take anything out of it. Yeah, I think it will look strange. So, oh, we don't need to. What am I thinking? What am I thinking? I don't know. Kind of like that. Yeah. No. My brain is all gone. I'm just gonna get rid of this for a sec. I'm gonna get rid of this. And let's duplicate these lines. We'll create the pattern with these. Create pattern. And we're gonna do, let's do spacing and make it -8. Yeah, and we'll just up this number a bit. Let's see what this looks like. And then, see, that's annoying. Let's do extent instead. We'll bring it out a little further. -78. 77. Yeah, okay, this will be enough. All right, so now I'm going to, let's select all of it and then we'll unselect the bits we don't want. Unselect these little bits. Oop. And I could do this 2 layers, that would be even cuter, so the border was a bit thicker than the surrounds. But let's just do 1 little extrude for now. We'll go -4 and it would be a new body as well. Yeah, that's cute. That's quite cute. Yeah, and I might continue this little shape around here, and then we'll do another bit of fretwork on the front, and it will kind of give a hint of that kind of vibe. Yeah, so this is coming along nicely. I'm pretty happy with how this is progressing. I might keep working on it, but I will definitely cut those, well, hopefully cut those bits tonight, and I'll start being able to assemble at least the base bit, and then the rest hopefully will come together around it. So yeah, thank you so much for joining me today. I will jump back into here. Yes. It needs a railing. It's not safe, says Supreme Pizza Man. I think I didn't want to kind of lock it in. I didn't want it, like, I don't know. It's a possum. It's used to climbing. It's really good at climbing. You should see them on the power lines. They just wander along those like it ain't no thing. So I don't think it's gonna, I don't think it's a too much risk of falling off, but I do want little bits it can grab onto. It also needs an emergency exit. No, it doesn't. I'm going to go with the possum boxes that have been designed by the conservation societies. They don't have emergency exits. They have 1 hole. I don't know that they would feel safe if it had any more holes. They're used to living in tree hollows, and hopefully possums aren't starting many fires in them. So I think it will be fine. I don't think it needs an emergency exit. I'm going to go with, yeah, what the experts are sort of saying and just build stuff around them. You can always use distant measure and then it always fits. Yeah, I could measure it. I just was being lazy. Thank you all so much for joining. This was really fun. A huge thank you to all my patrons, and particularly the people on the list of legends. Thank you so much for all your incredible support. You're awesome, and I really appreciate you. And yeah, thanks for coming and joining me on this really weird Possum House journey. I will continue on, and I'll keep you updated on Twitter and on Discord. So if you haven't joined my Discord, jump on. We have a really lovely community there of other makers, and we're always making and being kind to each other, and it's just this wholesome little wonderful place. So yeah, there's a link to that in the description, so come join us. And yeah, I will see you all next week. And yeah, bye. Mwah.